Georgia, Alabama. Sports Live will be your go-to for all your favorite high school and collegiate games this fall. From the Carver Tigers to the Columbus Blue Devils, the Harris County Tigers and Northside Patriots, the Glenwood Gators and Calvary Christian Knights, the Pacelli Vikings and Brookstone Cougars, to the Smith Station Panthers and Russell County Warriors, from CVCC, Pirates basketball and baseball, and every tournament from here to Macon. We are the #1 destination for anything happening in East Alabama and West Central Georgia. Be sure to like and follow us on YouTube and Facebook, and stay tuned for even more amazing ways we will be bringing Georgia, Alabama Sports Live to you this upcoming season. We can't wait to come see you next.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of the Muscogee County Coaches Show. I am Richard Holdridge from Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. Glad to be joining you on this Wednesday night, as we've got two very special coaches for you this week. Just a reminder that we air every Wednesday night opposite the week of office hours, a real life of an AD. That will air next week, and I'm excited about my next coach because the season's winding down. They're one of the top teams, not only in the state of Georgia, but in the nation. Please welcome to the Muscogee County Coaches Show, the softball coach of the Northside Lady Patriots, Coach Syndey Karastury. Coach, how you been?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. Last time we talked, you were in the middle of your season, but I was just looking at some of these accolades. This is really impressive what you have done. Not only are you the #1 team in 4A, for the state of Georgia, you are ranked 3rd in the entire state, ranked 10th in the entire nation, and that's according to Max Preps. We're riding a lot of momentum. We just live streamed the game. Senior night took on Stars Mill. Congratulations on the win, 12-0 in 4 innings. But really, it was the spotlight on those special seniors. The 8 seniors, L'Oreal Bird, who leads the team with 9 home runs, Bailey Davis, Alexia Rice, Abby Lovell, who has a .82 earned run average. That is incredible. Harper Bray, Lily Bravo, who picked up the win against Stars Mill, Maya Shumansky, and Gracie Conkle. Coach, what do these seniors mean to your program, and how special was it to honor them on senior night?
I told them yesterday, I was like, y'all, I can't talk to y'all too much or I'm going to get all choked up. But, I mean, they are truly such a fantastic group, not just softball players, but they are great human beings. They are great young women, great student athletes. They're great in the classroom, great with just all around the community, and they're involved in so much. They're just all around great people, the exact type of individual that you would want in your program for your culture to be built around. So I love them so much. They have accomplished incredible things over their past 4 years here with Northside. And even our 2 new seniors that we got this year, Lily and Alexia, we've only had them for 1 year, but they've jumped right into our culture and program, and they have both been very helpful to our success as well. And they fit right in with the girls, and it's just, it's an honor to be able to be their coach, and I'm so proud of all the success that they've done. They've definitely set the standard and the tone for Northside for sure, going forward with the type of players that you would want in your program.
Yeah, there's no question about that. We just had the privilege of live streaming the game on Tuesday night, as this is pre-recorded Wednesday afternoon. I know that you're getting ready to travel on the road, taking on several region opponents. By the time this airs, you'll be facing Griffin, and then taking on Jonesboro tomorrow. and then you're back home in Columbus. But it is a road game, as you will take it on the Columbus Lady Blue Devils at Randy Jordan Field, and they are one of the top teams also in Muscogee County. I do want to talk about that matchup. I know it's a non-region game, but
Right.
bragging rights for the city is on the line this Friday at 5:30. We expect a lot of fans there. This is a rivalry game between Columbus and Northside. How special is it as the season's winding down to have a non-region game? I know you're focused on region play, but to have a non-region game against a Columbus team that is looking incredible as they make a push for the playoffs, as they'll be hosting a playoff game as well.
Right. Yeah. It's always exciting. Anytime we get to play other quality opponents, especially in town, like you said, with it being the Columbus Northside rivalry, it's always exciting. And especially for me, I graduated from Columbus and I played Coach Wilson there was my assistant coach my junior and senior year. So it's always nostalgic, going back to being at Columbus. And yeah, we're excited about it. I told the girls when we played them this past Saturday that it should fire you up getting to play other girls that you already know, and just kind of representing. Both teams are representing our city, and just coming out there fired up with lots of energy and passion is, a big thing that I want the girls to do, and just to have so much fun out there. So I'm looking forward to it. It's always fun to get to, stay in town, and especially to play a rival school.
Coach, I do want to talk about the season so far. 22-2, as you have 4 games left, and then you'll start the postseason. The 2 losses. It was a 1-loss, it was a 1-run loss both times to Bremen and Harris County. Harris County, by the way, is 19-2, and they are ranked 2nd in the state of Georgia. I expect you guys are probably going to meet them maybe a couple more times, maybe even in the state playoffs. But just talk about just this resiliency to have these players that has this championship experience, winning the 2 state championships in 5A. You're now in a different classification. The competition is different, but you still are one of the top teams, if not the top team in the state of Georgia. But you have players that have been through just the tough times, just the adversity of facing all these teams that really, they know that Northside has a target on their back. But you continue doing what you do. 12-0 in 4 innings, taking care of business. How important is it to get off to a hot start, to save that rest for your pitchers, and in these games early, that way your pitching is fully rested, because especially with the long road trip ahead of you. Right,
absolutely. Even just going back to how you mentioned the resiliency of our players, our 2 losses came early on in the season. And like you said, by 1 run, and we knew we were facing those same exact opponents again in the season. So our mission was to get vengeance, right? And we avenged both of those losses. We beat Bremen once we faced them again, and beat Harris County again. So I think that was definitely, it meant a lot for our players too, to be able to, avenge those losses that we got, and to just, once again, to never get complacent. I think I told you that last time. That's a big thing with us, is that, regardless of who we're playing and regardless of when we're playing, that we want to take care of business, and to, stay disciplined, and to not get complacent at all, because, it doesn't matter what you're doing right now. We can be 22-2 right now, but if we lose when it matters in the future in the playoffs, it's then our season's done. So it's not getting so caught up in, what we're doing right now, and all of that, but just making sure that we stay focused, and that we continue to win when it matters. And like you said, with utilizing our whole pitching staff, trying to give some pitchers rest, that's another thing too, when we play those non-region games that we do have with like Columbus, and like we played on Monday with veterans, trying to be able to, have the game management looking ahead to what games we have for region, and going forward with how to utilize our pitching staff appropriately to make sure we're not wearing folks out, but, still being competitive when we need to be, and just allowing all of our pitchers to get work and to get rest as well.
Coach, what goes into the preparation to get your team ready for a season? Clearly there's the work ethic from the players. It's not just the experience, but you have just a talented group of players that is not skipping a beat. And I was listening to the PA announcer when he was announcing your players during senior night. one of their happiest moments was winning a state championship. They would love to win a third. You've got some players on your team that's already won 2 state titles. How great would it be if they could pick up a third and then go off to play at the next level? Because that is the ultimate goal. But what are some of the preparations that you got to take in consideration when the regular season wraps up and you get ready for the postseason?
Yeah, for sure. Just in general, the preparation with our season, like before, we even started there, they start working pretty much in December. We start with like strength and conditioning 3 days a week. They're on a very strategic program with that. We've done a mental mindset book study as well to try to just get prepared on the front end like that, just to start our season off in general. But preparing for the postseason, some of these teams that we'll potentially face we've not seen before, or we haven't seen in a while, or they've got new players. And so you've got to be able to, get some scouting reports and be able to plan practices accordingly. But once again, I always tell our players, regardless of who we're playing, regardless of what the scouting reports are, that if we can take care of business the way we know how to, that we should be fine. To not, I think I told you this last time too, just not letting things get too big, but also not, you don't want to have an oversight and overlook things either. So just going into the postseason, you mentioned resting our pitching staff as well, if we're able to, and just making sure that they are fueled up properly, and planning our practices around, the competition that we have coming up, making sure that we have good, productive practices, that we're executing things well. And yeah.
All right, let's talk about the postseason, Coach, because the state championships are going to be at the South Commons softball complex like they always are for all classifications of the GHSA. That will be 8 teams. It will be a double elimination tournament. But to get there, you have the regionals and then the super regionals. When do those start? And have you guys have they determined if you guys are going to be a host?
So those will actually start next Monday. Not next Monday, the following Monday on the 14th. So in just a couple of weeks, it's right around the corner. It's crazy how fast the season flies by, but the fun part's coming up. So right now, we should definitely host the first round. And if we win out the rest of our region games with, this week with Griffin and Jonesboro and Central Carrollton next week, then we should win the region. And that would mean we would also host the second round. So we should be able to host definitely the first round, hopefully the second round if we take care of business like we should. It's definitely, you never know with playoffs, regardless of who you play, regardless of your opponents. The playoffs are just, it starts, your record is 0, right? You haven't played any games. So you don't want to focus too much on what you've done in the past, because it's completely different. You never know who's going to get hot at the right times or who's going to peak at the right times. So, regardless of who you're playing, you've got to take care of business. And it is challenging to always get back to the Elite Eight. That's definitely a goal. That's everybody's goal starting off the season, is to get back to Columbus. When we do FCA camp over the summer, where we play our games at South Commons, it's, we want to start our season at South Commons and we want to end our season at South Commons. So it's always challenging regardless, because just the postseason, it means a lot for all teams. Everybody's going to be passionate. And you just got to hope that you're prepared and that your players, keep that mindset, and the ball's also got to go your way at some points in time too.
Coach, I want to talk about Harris County, because the former coach, your former coach at Northside, Coach Brandon Jenkins, is now at Harris County. They're having a fantastic season too. They're 19-2. You split the season series with Harris County. So that determination to what are some of the factors that they're going to consider when it comes to winning the region, especially if you have identical records at the end of the regular season?
Right. So it goes down, and it's so different from last year. Last year we would do like the 3-game series to where there was like no way that you could tie. There was always a winner. But if it comes down to like the head-to-head matchups where we're both each other's only loss, then it would go down to like the run differential between the two of us. And so at that point, then we would come out as the region champions due to the run differential that we had. But if that was still tied, like if we had both only beat each other by 1 run both games, then it would go down to the runs that you have given up against the top 4 region opponent. So then it like takes into consideration, your defense and your pitching staff and all that. but it shouldn't come down to that. Just with the run differential, with us being ahead with that, us beating them 5-1 the second game. So like I said, if we win out the rest of the region and take care of what we need to take care of, then we'll come out as the 1 seed. But like you said, they're going to run through postseason too, and hopefully we make it to the Elite Eight, and I'm sure that they would too. And like you said, we would probably match up again at some point. I feel like we always do. I mean, we've always matched up with them in like the Final Four, like we've done the past couple of years. So yeah, so I definitely think that we will see them again in the future.
Yeah, this is clearly the best rivalry in softball in the state of Georgia. You got number 1 Northside, number 2 Harris County. Every matchup is always a packed house. I know when you hosted Harris County and won 5-1. By the way, Abby Lovell won Alex Quinney All-State Good Hands Player of the Game for an outstanding performance. Just what a crowd there, and what a crowd up at Harris County. And, of course, we live stream them on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and we are just excited about the postseason. Good luck, Coach. I know that in a perfect world, we would love to see Harris County and Northside in the championship, but I think that because they're in the same region, I don't know if it plays out. But like you mentioned, they were in the Final Four last season, and you end up playing somebody else. But I really am excited about this upcoming season, and we're hoping that we could live stream some postseason games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. So we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, Coach, and good luck rest of the way.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, that was the head softball coach of the Northside Lady Patriots, Coach Syndey Karastury. We're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we are going to have the Spencer football coach, Coach Joe Kegler, as you're watching the Muscogee County Coaches Show right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Georgia, Alabama. Sports Live will be your go-to for all your favorite high school and collegiate games this fall. From the Carver Tigers to the Columbus Blue Devils, the Harris County Tigers and Northside Patriots, the Glenwood Gators and Calvary Christian Knights, the Pacelli Vikings and Brookstone Cougars, to the Smith Station Panthers and Russell County Warriors, from CVCC, Pirates basketball and baseball, and every tournament from here to Macon. We are the #1 destination for anything happening in East Alabama and West Central Georgia. Be sure to like and follow us on YouTube and Facebook, and stay tuned for even more amazing ways we will be bringing Georgia Alabama Sports Live to you this upcoming season. We can't wait to come see you next.
And welcome back to the Muscogee County Coaches Show. I am your host, Richard Holdridge, and let's go ahead and bring him on. He is the Spencer head football coach, having a great season so far, 4-2 overall, 2-1 in the region. It is Coach Joe Kegler, also part of Office Hours, the real life of an AD. Well, you can catch that every other Wednesday. So, Coach, glad to have you on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Back-to-back Wednesdays.
I appreciate you having us on every other Wednesday, and I appreciate you having me on tonight.
Absolutely. Well, you have a very big game this Friday on the road, taking on undefeated Sumter County. I was looking at the standings in the region. Right now, you are tied for third place with the Shaw Raiders. Both have a 2-1 record in the region. You got 4 games left, all region games, including against Shaw. But first things first, you got to take care of business against Sumter County. Like you played Carver close in the Heritage Bowl. I mean, the 2 losses, you lost to Lovett, which is a private school, one of the top private schools in the Atlanta area. But the team is just having a fantastic year. Sumter County, as Shaw proven, they only lost to them by 1 point. Even though this Sumter County team is undefeated, they can be beat. And so what's the game plan and the preparations making that trip down to Americus to try to knock off the Sumter County Panthers, who are still undefeated?
We just try to focus on ourselves and make sure, we're doing the small things that are going to add up to the big things. We focus on trying to get better every day at practice, doing what the players been coached to do, and playing with a lot of intensity, a lot of effort. And we feel like if we do all of those things, we'll be fine when the game ends.
Well, it seems like your quarterback, Elijah Fudge, has not skipped a beat, as Gary Gaither was the 3-year starter. But Elijah Fudge has gone in. He's comfortable in the offense. Spencer has been putting up points, just had fantastic wins over Jordan and Kendrick. And DeMarcus Horn has really been a playmaker. But there's a guy I want to talk about that's just been your player on defense who's been making big plays. He has been the Alex Quinney All-State Agency Good Hands Player of the game, and that is CJ Starr. How has the impact of CJ Starr on that defense helped the team, especially getting into game time situations where you got to give your offense of the ball back?
He's an all-out effort player. He's the definition of a kid who plays every play 100%. Everything he does is 100%. And that kind of intensity and effort kind of filters off to our defense. Even though he's a sophomore, he's a leader because of that intensity, because of work ethic, and because of the effort he puts in on and off the field. So that kind of trickles down and gives everybody the energy they need if we need a big play or when we need a big play.
All right, Coach, you are back-to-back region champions in 2A, but this region looks a lot different. Just looking at the standings right now, Carver and Sumter County are tied with a 3-0 record. Like I mentioned, you're tied with Shaw for third place. Hardaway and Columbus are 1-2. They're going to be facing off in the Midtown Showdown, and Jordan and Kendrick are playing each other this week, and so somebody's going to get a win in that game. So when you look at your team, and you look at the position, we know that the top 2 teams in the region are going to make the playoffs. The rest of the team are going to be put into a pool for an at-large bid, and they're going to factor in margin of victory, strength of schedule. So every play counts, Coach. I mean, when you're taking on a Jordan and a Kendrick team, you want to try to get as much of a score as possible for that margin of victory. And same with the other teams on your schedule with Hardaway, Columbus, Shaw, coming up after Sumter County. I mean, how important is it to position yourself? You want to try to get one of those top seeds in the region, but for some reason, if it doesn't fall that way, you want to try to get into the playoffs as an at-large team. So really, when you look at this region, what is really going to be the overall picture when it comes to the entire body of work in 2A in the GHSA classification?
We just try to focus on the things we can control. And by that, I mean, if we go out, we put our best foot forward, we play our best game, then we feel like, we have the team to compete with anybody in the state. So if we do what we're supposed to do week to week, we'll let the chips fall where they may. And, at the end of the day, we're pretty confident with if we're doing what we're supposed to do, we're doing what we're coached to do, we're playing with the same intensity and effort every play. We're satisfied with where we'll end up, and, we're satisfied where we end up when it comes to the playoffs.
All right, Coach, as also you are the football coach and the athletic director. Just talk about just balancing both duties. I mean, it really takes a lot of help. Who are some of your assistants that help you with the athletic director duties? And how has the fall sports been going? I know you guys have cross country, you got volleyball going on, you got softball. Is there, and you also have girls flag football?
We have flag football is coming up. They haven't started. They haven't played the first game yet, but
okay.
Coach Allen has been a huge help to me. He's our co-AD. So, he takes a lot off my plate during football season to allow me to kind of focus on football and kind of help where I can with the other things. And I try to do the same for him during basketball season. But our other coaches, Coach K is doing a great job with volleyball. They actually start the region tournament tomorrow. Softball just finished up. And Coach Savanas did a great job with the team this year, just trying to make improvements. Cross country, we had 2 kids PR yesterday. So we're very excited about the place athletics as a whole as Spencer.
Absolutely. And I can't wait for winter sports. I know Coach Pickett does a good job with the wrestling team, Coach Allen and Coach Tinch for the basketball teams. And really the culture and just being at Spencer and just that pride of being a Spencer Green Wave is really what it's all about. And when you look at just the athletes that come to Spencer and you have great programs and you're able to get the best out of them and great facilities, just talk about just selling that Spencer brand, like the students that want to come to Spencer and they want to compete at a high level. I mean, really what is that experience like, and what does it mean to be a Spencer Green Wave?
It trickles down. It starts with our principal, Ms. Rosa Patterson. She does a great job of, really putting a family atmosphere together for everyone in the building. With our admin, Ms. Dorsey and Mr. Church, they do a great job of kind of filtering down to us. And when you get here, we want to put the best student athlete forward. So we want you to not only be a great athlete, but we want you to be a great student and a great person in the community. We have community service requirements in our building. So, it gets you out in the community so you can meet the right people. Because at the end of the day, these 4 years at Spencer are going to lead to the next 40 years in your life. So we're trying to prepare them the best possible person and not just an athlete.
Well, Coach, good luck this Friday against Sumter County. We're pulling for you. I know that's going to be a tough region game, but we're hoping that Spencer can come out on top. And after this, you won't have to leave the city of Columbus, because the remaining games on the schedule are all going to be in town as you get ready to try to get a playoff berth.
We definitely appreciate that. We want the green and gold, everyone in the green and gold, to come out and support us and try to take over America, so we can, go down there and make it a home game for us.
No question about that, Coach. And also, thank you so much. And we're looking forward to seeing another episode of Office Hours next week with you, Coach Kendall Mills, Coach Janelle McCoy, and Coach Anson Hunley.
Yes, sir. We definitely appreciate the partnership, and, we're excited to be a part of the Georgia Sports Alabama family.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
That is the athletic director and the head football coach of the Spencer Green Wave, Coach Joe Kegler. You could also catch him on Office Hours, Real Life of an AD, which is found here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live every other Wednesday. So he'll be back next Wednesday night. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching another edition of the Muscogee County Coaches Show. We hope you enjoyed it, and I want to thank Coach Syndey Karastury. Good luck to the Northside Lady Patriots as they're winding their season, and it's been a lot of fun. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great rest of your night, everybody.